What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome into the CHGO Bulls Podcast, coming to you live from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. I'm Peck, Bulls_Peck, Big Dave, bam, BAWL Sports, Will the Go Gottlieb, Will_Gottlieb, our pal and producer on the controls. Joey Spathis is at Joey Spathis. Happy Thursday, everybody. Weekend getting closer. And NBA Draft Lottery a day closer. Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m. Central Time. You did request at the end of yesterday's show, Will. We'll make sure we get in before we wrap today at least one Tankathon spin.
Thank you.
We're going to need some likes to do that. So it's a 2 p.m. Central start to the lottery, right, Will?
I believe so.
And you will be there.
I will be there.
Being our eyes and ears. And we will have a live show. Dave and I will be in studio. Mm-hmm. Will join us remote from the lottery itself after the results are in. And we can watch along with y'all, our fellow Bulls fans, Sunday afternoon as those cards get flipped up to see
and this year
where the Bulls are.
It will definitely be a Bull on the card.
It won't be a fake-out Orlando Magic logo.
The Bulls have their own pick this year.
They do.
Wherever it lands is the pick they're getting.
Okay.
There you go.
What do you expect, Will?
I expect the Bulls to pick 11th.
All right. Didn't you tell me the other day you have a sinking suspicion that they're going to jump up?
What do I suspect is different than what is my hunch versus what is the most likely? I'm going with the 11th.
It would be so Bulls for them to jump up from 11th to the top 4 in a very weak draft class.
But you know what? I do think we'll spend the next 2 months talking about it, but I think there's going to be some good players in the range that the Bulls are going.
Some hidden gems.
I think really when people talk about weak draft class, they're saying there's no Wembanyama at the top. There's no Zion or Giannis or whoever at the very top of the draft. And that doesn't necessarily mean that there's not going to be a ton of really good role players or even potential all-star players in, the closer to the 10, 15 range. So that's where the Bulls are projected to go, and we'll have to see what their scouting department says about whoever's available.
There you go. So if you get your Mother's Day plans done with a Mother's Day brunch, and you're like, hey, NBA Draft Lottery Sunday afternoon, come join us. If you don't have Mother's Day plans until a Mother's Day dinner, perhaps, and you got time in the afternoon, come join us. We'll be here hanging out.
Make this your Mother's Day plans. And let Mom come check us out.
Happy Mother's Day, Mom. I'm going to make you watch this Bulls podcast while they unveil the lottery order.
Yeah, I won't tone down the awesomeness of what we do. Absolutely, you should come through and watch. We're pretty damn good.
Fair enough.
What do you think they're going to do in the draft? What do you think they'll be?
I think they're going to stay at 11.
11?
Should we just go through the odds real quick, or do you want to save this for later?
Well, let's save it for our Sunday show as we're gearing up to start.
All right.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah. Ugh. Rob in the comments said, bring on the Tankathon. Before we do that, we are going to keep rolling through our player grades from the season that just ended. Today's name is the one and only Cookie Monster himself, Alex Caruso. So we'll talk offense, we'll talk defense, we got some meathead grades, and then talk a little bit about what happens next for Caruso and whether or not he will finish this fourth and final year of his contract that he signed with the Bulls in that remember that fun summer of 21, guys, where we got Alex Caruso and Lonzo and DeMar. Yeah.
That was fun.
Seems like a lifetime ago.
That was literally when we started Locked On Bulls. When I started doing it with him, that's when
crazy.
All that stuff happened. Yeah.
I mean, in basketball years, that is a lifetime ago.
Yes, correct.
Truly.
Correct.
LeBron and KD have gotten so many coaches fired in that same time span.
This is true.
R.I.P. Frank Vogel. Okay, guys, so let's dive into some Caruso talk. I feel like it's going to be a lot of praise and a lot of fun evaluation because this man, we know that this is a perennial all-defensive team kind of player.
Yeah.
He was before he came to the Bulls, and it's only grown since he arrived and has played 3 pretty solid seasons here. let's save the defense, because I feel like the bigger story with Caruso this season, the more surprising story, the man bites dog, if you will, is that he actually turned into a pretty useful player on the offensive end.
He did. I think I'm gonna give him a little more than that, because I think he's always been pretty useful, but a guy who became a little more dependent.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And
Dependable.
You know what I mean? Or dependent on.
Right.
But yeah, he definitely, and that was from the 3-point line specifically. It was like, wow. It was like, wow, he's got a 3-point shot, and it's
wow,
pretty damn serviceable, and we can definitely use this, and this is pretty cool. I don't think anything truly changed as far as what he does offensively outside of that 3-point shot, but it was so meaningful and so impactful for the Bulls and what they needed, especially a team that didn't have a lot of 3-point shooting. Him providing that, also being the defender that he is, it was just gravy, Will.
Absolutely. And, we talked about it with Kobe yesterday too, Ayo yesterday, and even Kobe a couple days ago, but I felt like Caruso, the way that he shot the ball, the volume with which he shot the ball, and just to put some numbers on that, so 2 years ago, he shot 36% on 2.3 3-point attempts per game.
Yeah.
That's fine for a guy who's playing 23 minutes a game. Not bad. This past year, 4.7 attempts per game, so over twice as many from the year before, and he shot over 40%. So I just feel like he really understood the weaknesses of this team and did his best to help turn those, as maybe not into strengths, but as close to, just average or closer to what the Bulls wanted to be. And, he facilitated the ball well, 3.5 assists. Obviously, his defense turned into offense in a lot of ways, getting steals in transition, things like that, and boosted his scoring from 5.6 points to 10.1. So I feel like he really stepped up to the plate and understood that he needed to be the defensive backbone of this team, but also that he needed to contribute at a high level on the offensive end. I think he didn't disappoint.
Yeah, the 10.1 points per game for Caruso this season was a career high, as was his 46.8% overall from the field. His 40.8, he actually had, I believe, his second season in the NBA was his career best, but it was only on 2 attempts per game, as Will was saying there. Significant bump up in volume at 4.7 attempts per game, and managed to do that just over 40%. The 3-point attempts per game, the 4.7, obviously a career high. His 3-point attempt rate, as in what percentage of his total field goal attempts came behind the arc, .616. 60% of his shots were threes. That was a career high.
That's a lot.
613 true shooting percentage, another career high for Alex Caruso. And while doing that, it's not like the Bulls were ever running their offense through Caruso, but I also do want to give him a bit of praise for not only the bump in volume and percentage behind the arc, as Will stated, the Bulls needed that desperately. And even though he's not a facilitator, he bumped up his usage percentage from last season, which was 11.1 to 14.7. So not a huge jump, but significant, while bringing his turnover percentage down from 19.5 to 14.9. And that's one of the knocks I've kind of had on Caruso as someone who maybe has to handle the ball in some situations and some abilities rotations. Kind of just like careless turnovers, or like Caruso, what the hell was that possession? What were you thinking there? And the numbers show he cut down on those this season compared to last season. So you got to give him some credit for that.
While his usage went up.
Exactly.
11.1 last year to 14.7. There's kind of like Zach Lowe was making fun of him for being like the guard PJ Tucker, just never shooting the basketball. This year, he had to facilitate a little bit more, and he did that without turning the ball over as much as last year. So just he's such a glue guy. Like, he's not going to obviously give you a ton of points or be looked at to be a primary scoring option, but he keeps the ball moving. He just kind of like helps the offense run. And I think that's super valuable on a team that, like we've been talking about, gets kind of bogged down at times and has a hard time scoring in the half court.
Yeah, and I feel like the things that I want to compliment and praise him on are the same things I did for Ayo. But we all know this is the godfather of it, where he gets it from. But, man, I was going to say that point, too, about his turnovers, because it's so interesting. He's like in a point guard body, but he's not a point guard.
Right.
But
the Bulls have lots of those.
They have tons of those. Tons of dudes, just pieces and parts. But they aren't the piece and part that they truly need. And Caruso's another example of that. and somebody that can play the 1, the 2, the 3, and guard all 5 at the same time.
Yes, sir.
Like, it's so strange. You know what I mean? He's such an anomaly kind of basketball player. He can do a little bit of everything, but what he does best, obviously the defense, we'll get into that. But adding that 3-point shot was key because there were many times he went from the guy where we were like, no. Oh, to just, Caruso's shooting. You know what I mean? And I think that's the biggest compliment I could kind of give him. It was no more like, I'm not shocked by it. It was like, Caruso's hitting shots tonight.
And he hit big shots too. I mean, he hit a game winner against the Bucks.
He did.
Yeah. I guess maybe that was maybe to send it to overtime, but he hit one against the Raptors.
Their crazy comeback against the Heat. Didn't he also have a big shot in that game?
Yeah, it could have been. I mean, it was so timely. And obviously, like, you can't take him off the floor because of how good he is on the defensive end. The minutes and just like the games that he played is one thing. But then, to become like somebody who can hit game-winning shots and like just be counted on as a 40% three-point shooter is huge. I was pulling up some numbers here. Players who shot at least 40% from 3 on more than 330 attempts, which is how many he had, and averaged at least 10 points and 3 assists per game. There were 13 players: Mike Conley, Steph, KD, Paul George, Kyrie, LeBron, Kawhi, CJ McCollum, D'Angelo Russell, Jamal Murray, Caruso, Grayson Allen, and Jalen Brunson. So, I mean,
so that's like AC, Grayson, McCollum, and then like a bunch of superstar or at least star players.
Yeah. Right. I mean, he's giving you he's basically 10 points away from giving you like superstar.
Right. Yeah.
Which obviously is a huge gap, but like that's the kind of all around production and value that he's adding. And, I think it's kind of dumb and reductive to say like somebody is a winning player and somebody is not. Like the whole argument about Zach LaVine not being a winning player, like I just don't like that. But Caruso is just like the embodiment of what a winning player is. And that's why he's so important to the culture of this team, to the defensive infrastructure of this team. And it's why AK didn't want to trade him, because he's just so valuable both on the court as a leader, as a coach on the sidelines, as a player development coach, helping some of these guys get better. He's just so valuable top to bottom.
Rob in the comments saying, yes, well done, AC, on increasing that trade value. Give me a bazillion first-round picks for him. Sports Chicago style saying AC is that dude, worth a lot. Earned his upcoming pay raise, ... from another team. Been hurt too much to pay him going forward for me. Brazil Popular saying, I'd have to disagree on the injury thing. Respectfully, Caruso has played 65-plus games this season. If I'm not mistaken. Yes, he did. And last season. Yeah. Last season, he had a career high in games played at 67. He beat it this year by playing 71. And part of our praise for Io in yesterday's episode was increasing your three-point volume and efficiency for a team that needed it, just like Caruso did. And Io was available.
Well, I'll push back a little bit on what he's saying, because a lot of those games he would be playing in injured.
Well, yes.
And then some of those games he'd be playing and get hurt halfway through the game and then have to leave the game. So, yes, he was there.
Caruso came into a game or played in that game hurt after sustaining an injury 50% of the games this season.
Exactly, yeah. So, I hear what you're saying, but it's not the full picture.
Yeah. We'll a little bit later dive a bit deeper into that whole trade Caruso conversation, because I see a lot of y'all in the comments talking about it. One other highlight I wanted to make as far as Caruso's contributions on the offensive end before we switch to defense. You referred to him as a glue guy, a.k.a. a guy who's going to do some things for you to maybe keep the ball flowing, maybe have a highlight reel dunk or two, which we know Caruso can do, but be a glue guy and contribute defensively primarily. To point that out, I was looking at his extra points added per field goal attempt to compare it to league average. Last season was the first time he had a net positive number in extra points added by field goal attempt. Plus 3.1. Modest. So just barely above league average for extra points added per field goal attempt. This season, it was plus 50.6. So, yeah, he's still not a 20 points per game scorer, but he saw a big jump from last season, his first ever being a net positive player in that department, to being a significantly higher net positive player in that department. He's not your leading scorer, but he can contribute positive impact plays on the offensive end.
No, he's stopping because he saw the spin on Joey.
Listen, the break zone.
Yeah, he saw the break zone
spin. To be plus or minus 2 minutes. We don't have to end our conversation. So I'm just alerting you that we're within the zone.
But it's the way you do it that makes it seem like it has to happen right now.
I'm
like you spun around in your chair like
I was
5
I was
times.
just out of talking points.
You know
So-
what I mean?
I didn't even think Goat saw me do that.
So,
I did.
for the record,
He did.
anytime I see out of the corner of my eye a white board, I know that Joey's holding up the break sign.
Yes.
Also, we have underneath our YouTube stream a thing that says started streaming blank minutes ago, and I keep an eye on that about every 5 minutes. So I'm always aware.
Yeah, we understand that. We're talking about the spinning that Joey's doing, man. That's what makes you be
just
like,
doing my
oh, man,
job.
it's going down.
He's
just
just
doing
adding
my
some
job.
flair.
We see. Well, the flare works.
Keeping
Part of the job
keeping it
description
light.
now.
Keeping it like tight. We appreciate it.
All right, with that, let's read some ads. Then we'll come back and dive into the stats
flair.
that Caruso is going to march right into another all defensive team trophy. In when did they announce those?
There's not been an announcement yet as to when they will announce that stuff, but I would imagine next week because they did MVP.
Right,
and
yeah.
Defensive
So
Player this
Joker's
week.
MVP announcement happened last night. They're done with individual awards at this point, right?
Yeah.
I would imagine it's
So
going to be next week.
those got to be coming next week during some of these playoff broadcasts.
Shout out, Joker.
Hey, hit that like button while Dave tells y'all about
Scaping
Scaping.
your man parts.
Yeah.
Joey's thing. How's it working for you, Joe?
It's great. Love my Manscaped. I haven't used it since last time I spoke on it, but still blown away by the quality of the product.
And you can get down with it too, ladies and gentlemen, because if you're ready to soak up those summer vibes and unveil that ultimate beach bod, well, you're in luck because our friends at Manscaped have got you covered from head to toe. With the Performance Package 5.0 Ultra. This ultimate all-in-one grooming kit is set to have you looking and feeling your best in the summer sun. Trust Manscaped and unlock the confidence you need to turn heads this season. Join the 10 million men, that's 10 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped.com for 20% off of free shipping. Use that code BULLS, B-U-L-L-S. Let's make the summer your smoothest one, yes. Because like I mentioned, that updated Lawnmower 5.0 groin and body hair trimmer has got a summer makeover, ladies and gentlemen. It's now waterproof, designed for that splashy pool parties and beach hangouts. Do not do that at a splashy pool party and a beach hangout, but be prepared for the splashy pool party and the beach hangout with that 5.0. And of course, that Weed Whacker 2.0, that ear and nose hair trimmer. Those pesky hairs are be gone. And the Magic Matte disposable shaving mats. This is one I really like. Got your back and your front and everything else that needs grooming.
Everything
Wink, wink.
in betwixt, would you say?
Right there, ladies and gentlemen, literally and figuratively. It's like having a magician in your bathroom. Hair, be gone. Now, this is what you get. 20% off plus free shipping with your code BULLS at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code BULLS at manscaped.com. The summer sun is here to stay, so trust Manscaped to keep your pubes at bay. Hey. Want to eat some hay? Go down by the bay.
Make things out of clay. What do you say? I just may. I was just looking for the other half of this bottle. Dave, Julia wanted the accent. I mean, that was from the St. Patty's kind of time of the Manscaped breed. Also, that makes me wonder. You said it's like having a magician in your bathroom. Mm-hmm. What would you rather have in your bathroom, a magician or a leprechaun?
Oh, that's a great question.
Neither. I would like some privacy in my bathroom.
Going with neither.
I think,
well, wouldn't they be in the closet? Let's start with that.
I think a true leprechaun is magical.
Yeah, I think a leprechaun I'd go with
you're
more.
Sort of getting 2 in 1 there.
Yeah, I think a little more special.
If it's a legit leprechaun, it might lead you to a pot of gold somewhere.
That's true.
It's
exactly.
got real magic too, not like
Over the rainbow.
not illusion.
Lord of mercy.
The Jamirish has returned.
What's up, boy?
Oh, Neil and Matt from C-Red UK, if you're listening to this episode, we apologize.
They know what to expect.
Today's episode of CHGO Bulls also brought to you by Prize Picks, the largest daily fantasy sports platform in North America. The easiest and most exciting way to play DFS. It's just you against the numbers. Instead of battling thousands of other players, including pros and sharks and bathroom leprechauns, you just pick more than or less than on anywhere from 2 to 6 different player stat projections for the game that you want to watch that night and watch the winnings roll in. And Prize Picks has a fun announcement for y'all. You may have heard back when we were all watching and glued to the women's March Madness tourney.
Yes.
They had a free square for Caitlin Clark to score more than 0.5 points. They are doing it again for her WNBA game this coming Tuesday, May 14th. Prize Picks is offering a free square for Caitlin Clark's WNBA debut. All you got to watch Caitlin Clark do is put 1 point in the bucket. One free throw. Boom. Free square.
The free throw in the
There is a timer on that Caitlin Clark free square, though, so users who want to build that must add it to their lineup before that timer ends, before her first game tips off. That is, again, Tuesday, May 14th. In the meantime, we got plenty of NBA action rolling along. We got 2 games on deck tonight.
Yes.
I have been enjoying some Jalen Brunson action on Prize Picks because that man never stops scoring.
This is a fact.
I feel like I'm thinking another SGA more than on his points tonight. Chet Holmgren treated me well in the Thunder's Game 2 win as well.
Okay.
You can take your pick. Whoever you feel is going to go off tonight, just build yourself a little fun square there on Prize Picks. And then, again, don't forget that free one for Caitlin Clark next Tuesday.
Yes.
Go to prizepicks.com/CHGO and use that code CHGO for a first-time deposit match up to $100. That's prizepicks.com/CHGO. Promo code CHGO. Pick more, pick less. It's that easy.
It is. It is.
It is.
Well, Chicago style is hilarious. You are funny, yo.
Sex, drugs, alcohol, betting. Y'all got all the vices covered.
That's
Sports.
Right. Sports, baby.
Sports is always the biggest and best vice.
It is. That's where it starts. That's where it begins.
Well, what kind of sex are we selling?
Well, we do it sometime. Well, my sexiness.
That's not for sale.
Sex.
You know what I mean?
We're selling men's grooming products.
Men's grooming.
It's true. I thought I was just talking about me being amazing. And when I got the gams out, it's really ridiculous. They'll tell them, Joe.
Rob wondering, can you pick over? Can you pick more than or less than on Josh Hart's minutes? I haven't looked. If you can, I'm guessing the more than or less than is set at 47 and a half.
It has to be, dog.
Taking the over.
All of them. Take all of it.
Take it. All right, guys. Back to Senor Caruso, who, man, I mean, just when you think that he can't be more consistent defensively.
Yeah.
His total number of steals this season, 120, career high, shattering his previous career high from last season of 98. 70 total blocks, again, shattering his previous career high. 2.9 steal percentage, led the NBA.
Amazing.
First in steal percentage. Also had a career best 3.5 block percentage.
Amazing.
42 charges drawn. The dude takes cookies.
He does. He steals and he eats at the same time. It's special to watch him do these things. My favorite thing
Gotta eat to live, gotta steal to eat.
Yeah, well,
Tell you all about it when I got the time.
this is a fact. Oh, look at Matt. Oh, look what he's doing, y'all. Hope y'all got that.
Shout out to Aladdin.
Well done. I like watching him within those 24 seconds. Well, more so, I would say within those 18, 17 seconds of defense. When the ball has, obviously crossed the line. Watching Caruso go on like a Tasmanian devil tirade when he's guarding every single person on the floor and calling out every single thing that is about to happen to make sure everybody's in line is amazing to sit there and watch. And to sit there and watch him do it and then get the steal, or get the block or the missed shot, and it's starting to break because he'll get the rebound and start the break by, kicking it out to whoever, or he'll be running the break with you. Like, he's, like you said, just a multi-tool, multifaceted kind of player, especially on the defensive end, and you just watch how good it is on defense, and you just kind of marvel at it sometimes. Because when I look at the things that are mistakes that he might make on defense, it's always in the name of aggression. And if it's not in the name of aggression, it's because he was smaller than whoever the hell he was guarding. So for me, those aren't real mistakes. You know what I mean? He always knows where he's supposed to be. He knows what defense is supposed to be run. He's, like Will stated earlier, like that coach on the floor that the team really needs.
Brazil in the comments mentioning the fact that it's not necessarily the defense or the improved offense, it's the IQ for Caruso.
Exactly.
That means on the court coaching.
And you know how much I love basketball IQ. It is very, very sexy and attractive to sit there and watch that. And he has that, and he always has had that. And to just watch him just be a steadiness ever since he's been here defensively. I don't think he's gotten the numbers have changed, obviously, as far as him defensively, but like him as a player, I can't sit there and point to it and say, well, he's gotten better or worse at this. He's always kind of been the same kind of ball player to me. That Tasmanian devil-like mentality that will guard and lock down anybody and get you that block and that steal. And it's just like, wow, when you watch it.
Yeah, I think he was the only player in the league with 100 steals and 70 blocks. He was first in the league in defensive EPM among players who qualified for like the NBA awards. So like Jonathan Isaac, Isaiah Hartenstein, Marcus Smart, Embiid were ahead of him, but none of those guys qualified for the minutes leaderboard to where they could have been on like an all-NBA team. Amazing. So he was first in the league. And we're talking about a league where big men are the most important pieces on the defensive floor.
Yeah.
And he is the best one. 3+3.4, not even as good as last year. But I mean, he's just remarkable. And I think he's kind of like one of those advanced stats darlings, just which like makes it easier to appreciate because you know and you can see like those numbers kind of backing up what you're watching on the court. But the Bulls were 113.6 defensive rating with Caruso on the floor, 120.6, which would have been last in the league.
That's a wide chasm.
Floor. He's just so good. Like I don't know what else to say. He's just so good. He's the entire backbone of a defense, and like the Bulls defense did not achieve at a high level this year, but that was like not Caruso's problem. It was like they were as good as they were because of Caruso.
Yeah.
And for a guard to have that kind of an impact on a defense is truly special and remarkable.
Caruso's the backbone of the Bulls defense. He's the backbone of Chicago's economy. He's the backbone of just so many things. Flex Dick saying AC had to play power forward because Pat doesn't have an aggressive bone in his body. Sadly, I can only laugh and shrug at that because I don't think you're necessarily wrong.
Played every position that they had except center. He probably would have played center.
Oh, dude, small ball Caruso, small ball 5 Caruso.
Come on, man, wreaking havoc.
You know, Go wants to see that.
Oh, you know it, foaming at the mouth. You can't wait, man. But yeah, man, it's just fun to sit there and watch him. Like as much fun as I have watching DeMar on the offensive end, I feel like it's like that for Caruso on the defensive end. You know, you just sit there and like, dude, look at everything that he's doing.
A master at work.
Yes, you're just watching him be one of the best out there. You know what I mean? Every single time, you just like, whoa, wow.
Whoa.
It's super impressive, bro.
I couldn't stop thinking last night, like, imagine
when you were up
Caruso
till
on
5
the
a.m.
Knicks.
Caruso on the
Would he
Knicks?
ever come off the court? Him and like,
Dude, no, he would be too hurt.
I was going to say, he might go past that threshold
They
of
would
being
be-
just healthy enough to play.
Exactly.
him and Josh Hart would be wreaking havoc.
Dude, it wouldn't last.
That would be out of control for however long you're able to get it. That would be out of control.
It would be.
He is such a Tibbs player, though.
Yeah, he is.
He really is.
With the injuries, he's a Tibbs player.
Yeah,
All
he's
that.
he's like Archie, but good.
Yeah.
Benjamin in the comments, going back to the power forward chat, saying, I'd rather have Pat Benatar playing the 4 than Patrick Williams. Ouch.
Love is a battlefield.
That is a stray Pat insult while talking about Alex Caruso. All right, so let's review our offense defense grades real quick and then dive into those meathead grades.
Okay.
Dave, I saw you gave him a B. I think you gave him a B+. If Joey, you want to throw those grades up. I gave Caruso an A on defense. I mean on offense. I know he's not an offensive, firepower kind of weapon. I thought about going maybe B+ or A- because of even still the transition Caruso moments where you're like, oh my God, Caruso's going to try and go 1-on-3 here and throw a layup off the backboard and nowhere close to finishing. It was a nitpicky thing that I saw from Caruso this season, but I was like, dude, he had a career high 3-point attempt rate and he shot 40%.
Yeah.
He increased his usage and decreased his turnover percentage.
Yeah.
As much of a tertiary role he has in the Bulls offense, I still feel like for what we expect of him, that was A material.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. As far as his overall, I think that B was for what you just said. Those layups really, really were the wildest thing. Like he could not make a layup. And it's funny because I don't want to sit there and fault him for this because I got reasoning in my head why, because the dude was giving his all out there on the floor every time he's doing something defensively or more focused on his 3-point shot. But it was just wild to watch him every time he would go in for a layup, and it just did not work out great for him. And that's the only reason I gave him the B+, which is like an A- anyway. But
yeah,
I mean, it's very small, but it was a thing. It was noticeable for me.
Yeah.
It was just very noticeable.
Yeah, I mean, I think Matt and I have a similar thought on this, which is that like he really, we're talking about Tibbs here, he really did star in his role, and that was a limited role offensively, but he got so much better at it.
Yeah.
And he just, I thought, did it the best that we've seen him do it. So to me, I don't want to like go nuts and say that he's like an amazing offensive player because he's not a scorer. Right. But I think he just kind of held the Bulls offense together in a lot of ways.
Yeah, yeah. I can see that. And then it's an improvement from the C that I'm sure I probably gave him last year to get up to that. So, yeah, he was very, very good, man. And they needed every part of it.
Now, Dave, Goat and I both gave him an A+ on the defensive end. Why no plus next to your A?
Yeah, it's an A. Like, because the same reason I just told you earlier.
Yeah.
It's this with Alex Caruso. It's never, it's this. It's the same every single time. It's never no tick up or tick down. Like when I give DeMar an A+ on offense, is because he was up there with Jordan and Wilt.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I mean? That's a tick up. Like with Caruso, I'm this, dog, every single time. You ain't got to worry about me. The greatness is right there. And so I'm like, you get an A. That's what you get, man. Like, you're that good. You like, I put you in pen for an A. What's wrong with an A?
Fair enough. Fair enough. I think that's fair.
Will wants to fight me over here with the blood. Look at the aggression right now. Look at this, man. What's going on?
Yeah.
What's going on, son?
Not at all.
All right, let's knock out a couple more quick ads.
I'll tell you that.
Then we will come back, get to our meathead grades, and then dive into the fun, should the Bulls still trade Caruso, and if so, what can they get for him now conversation. If you didn't hit that like button the first ad break, now's your chance. Do it now. Do it for Troll Joe and the leprechaun that he's going to leave in your bathroom. CHGO Bulls Today brought to you by our friends at Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment. Fresh. Between work, social media, worrying about the Bulls offseason plans, and the choices and chores that life throw our way, it's no wonder that we can get a little worked up and stressed out sometimes. Well, Coors Light celebrates those moments because in those moments you can rise above all the chaos and noise and choose a chill mindset.
Hey, Joe.
Just like Joe. Why not turn a rained-out barbecue or a rained-out, Chicago afternoon into a karaoke house party, or after a tough loss, settle the score with an ice-cold peace offering. Make the choice. Choose chill. Then reach for Coors Light. It's mountain cold refreshment. And when those mountains turn blue, you know it's as cold as the Rockies and ready to drink. Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smooth finish. When you embrace that chill mindset, it's simple as grabbing a Coors Light.
That's it.
Make the most out of the times you choose to chill, and you should do so often. Choose Coors Light and get it delivered straight to your door so you don't have to get up and go to the store.
That's right.
Because you're like, I'm going to watch this NBA playoff doubleheader tonight. I don't have time. Get the Coors Light delivered to you with Instacart. Go to CoorsLight.com/CHGO basketball. That's CoorsLight.com/CHGO basketball. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Every time you say karaoke machine, I always say, man, I think we should have one in here.
You think we should do a CHGO karaoke party?
Yeah, I really kind of do.
What would you sing, Dave?
Oh, I have no idea. I'm very picky about songs. I don't know. That's a great question.
Goat?
That's a great question.
I'm not a karaoke guy.
Yeah.
That is shocking.
No, No, it's not. You're wrong. Anything to take attention.
Is there
away
any?
From me.
Okay, like, what's your like? Do you sing in the shower?
No, not really.
No. Do you sing in the car? If you're like listening to music in the car,
sometimes
you sing
in
along?
the car. Yeah.
Okay, what's like a song that you would happily sing along to in the car?
I don't
Confidently,
know.
like, I'm gonna belt these notes because I love this song and
Euphoria.
I know the notes.
Salerno's Pizza.
We're done here.
It's delicious. It's amazing. Oh, and the goat, when he's in his car driving, that's where he's going
I
to.
hate the way that you walk.
He's going to Salerno's, y'all. Oh, he's telling truths about you because you ain't telling no lies about him. Oh, 1201 West Grand Avenue in West Town. It was the location, ladies and gentlemen. You can go enjoy that tavern-style pizza and some ice-cold beers. That will be there. Whether you're headed to the game or whether you want to watch it live on that awesome big screens they got, or if you just want to pick it up and go home, they got you covered from all angles like Alex Caruso, baby. You can go to SalernoPizza.com or call 312-666-3444. Mention CHGO and get half off of your pizza. You heard what I said. CHGO, half off your pizza at Salerno's on tap on the Grand Avenue location. Delicious. I got a lot.
Our guy Fish in the comments said, you know who's not singing in the shower tomorrow? Frank Vogel. Dude, are you kidding me? If I'm Frank Vogel, I'm singing in the shower every day.
Yeah.
You know why? Because I have tens of millions of dollars.
You got to pay me.
Oh, no, I got fired from a team that everyone agreed my coaching it was not the primary problem. Boo-hoo. I'm going to, wash my armpits with my tens of thousands in cash.
5 years, $31 million was the contract he signed. He's fine.
He is belting the high notes in the shower. like that.
Yeah.
Like that. Okay, meathead grades for Alex Caruso. Joey, what do we have? I feel like we got some good ones here. I think when I was looking at it earlier when it was up, guess out of the gate, I have a guess for Dave.
Okay.
I have a guess for Dave.
WLYNL. We love you. Now leave.
Exactly.
Boom!
Get out of here. We appreciate you.
Okay.
I love everything about you, everything that you've done for this team, how you were just that soldier for this team, that kind of workhorse that puts his head down and grinds. You're everything that Chicago loves in a basketball player. Honestly, you are that kind of ball player and that kind of person for the Chicago Bulls, man. We love you. We love you. Not love you. Get out. You got to go, dog.
It's not his choice.
I know it's not his choice, but
go.
Please.
But I wipe my own ass.
But he can sit there, and I'm not saying you should demand a trade. You know what I mean?
But, I mean,
you can ask, hey, guys, thinking about doing it? Want to get a little something? Maybe. All I know is we can't keep you here and grow as a team here with the Chicago Bulls, bro. If we keep putting you out here, I think we're doing you a disservice as well, because I think you should be somewhere where they are at the top or competing for a championship. You should be that piece to add to that. You were kind of that piece when you first got here, but things changed. And now I just think, I don't want to just see you waste all that, man. Just mired in this mediocrity, going through this mud with us. Now, man, we want to see you above, man, and transcending and changing teams that way. So I think you should roll. I think you should go. We love you. We'll always have nothing but love for you. But bring me back the draft picks, please. Thank you.
That's very similar to my meathead grade.
Mine too.
I don't know.
Everybody's on the same page.
Wait. What? Okay, go. Yours is CDTPFC.
Wait, let me see it.
CDTPFC.
Can't do
this.
Please.
Force a.
Capital?
Please force change.
Trade.
No.
Caruso deserves to play for championship.
Oh!
Yeah. He really does.
He deserves to be on a
He
winner.
really does.
And
not with the Lakers, preferably.
Yeah.
But yes, he does.
Correct.
Yeah.
But we kind of mentioned it's not his choice. That's true, but I mean, starting this free agency, he's going to be extension eligible. And so Arturas is going to get a sense very quickly if he's going to be willing to sign that nearly 4-year, $80 million extension, that max extension that he could get. And if the answer is no, I don't want to continue to play for a play-in spot, or no, I don't want to be here for this inevitable rebuild, then it might be time to start looking for some trades.
Okay.
I feel you. Mine is very much in this same vein, in the same light, but I just took a goofier route to get there.
Hey, AK.
Hey, Arturas, the hell? No,
okay,
it's not,
that's what it feels like.
It's not that.
Okay. Is it something nice?
Well, yeah, it's like mean nice.
Classic peck.
I'll give you a hint. There's a movie reference in there.
It's a classic peck. Okay. What does it say you do here? Help.
HATHGBMF.
Any guess, Joe?
Is the MF what we think it is?
No.
Okay.
No, it is not. If you're thinking MF, no, it is not.
All right, go ahead, hit it.
Harry and the Hendersons.
Whoa.
Goodbye, my friends. I am envisioning me as a younger, still has some hair John Lithgow, just slapping Caruso as I am telling him and pointing to go, run away, go to the woods. We don't want you anymore. Get out of here. And it's breaking Lithgow's heart. It truly is. But he knows that Harry needs to go to the woods to have a full and healthy, successful life. He's saving him.
Yes.
And it kills Lithgow to do it.
Yes.
It really does.
Yeah.
He is crying.
Yeah.
He is openly weeping in front of his children as he smacks this Sasquatch in the face. That is how I feel as a Bulls fan about Alex Caruso right now.
Okay, first of all, the fact that Sasquatch didn't go Sasquatch on him for him in the face is crazy.
But I mean, he was too sad.
Oh no, I know the movie. I know it well. But every time I saw that, I was like, no, come on.
I mean, he could have just crushed Lithgow's skull in that moment.
Like, seriously, like what? And then went away. But I'm thinking old Yeller the entire time.
Yeah,
of course. When I see that, you know what I mean.
But Caruso's not rabid.
True. Well.
He plays like he is.
Defensively, he's a little rabbit, Tasmanian double out there.
Okay, yeah, that's, in some way, that's true.
Yeah,
but it's like, Harry didn't do anything wrong necessarily. It's just like, hey, you need to get out of here right now for your own good.
Yeah.
And it's the easiest way for me to convince you of that is to be mean to you and tell you to go.
Okay.
Because it's really sad.
Well, I have to ask.
I wish that we had a better team and organization that made keeping Caruso worth it.
Yeah, ooh, that part right there.
And it's not his fault.
It's not his fault, man. But I have to ask the question, though. Joey, have you seen Harry and the Hendersons?
No, that went way over my head.
Okay.
Yeah, me too.
I was okay. You too, Will?
Me too, unfortunately.
You too? All right. I know Kev.
I wouldn't have guessed that in a million years.
Have you seen Harry and the Hendersons?
Yeah. I know Kev seen it. Have you seen Joey? Have you seen Old Yeller?
No, but I'm familiar with the reference, and I know exactly, I take it out back.
Take it out back.
I know what you're inferring.
Or Matt he could have went a Mice and Men.
Could have gone George and Lenny.
Yeah, come on, man.
Could have gone George and Lenny.
He could have went a Mice and Men on you. Real easy.
Tell me about the rabbits. Tell me about the rabbits, Caruso.
There's a lot. There's a couple different routes
we
you
think
can take
alike
for that.
Tell me about all the championships we're going to win together, Alex.
I'm going to pet the bunny.
Bang.
Right. That's Walking Dead, too. Look at the flowers.
That was Walking Dead. You're right.
Look at the flowers, Alex.
Look at the flowers.
Yeah,
Very nice.
That's right.
Walking Dead just ripped that from John Steinbeck.
Fine.
Where is the paper, Joe?
He's right. Shane, come back, Shane. Just all old school movie references from now on. Shane, come back. Wait, have you seen Old Yeller, Will?
I'm in the same boat as Joey. I think I've maybe seen parts of it when I was very young.
All right.
Lies. You say you've seen parts of it, it means you haven't seen it. I've played that card before.
No, I feel like I've definitely seen segments of it on TV,
Fine,
and then I probably
I'll
flip the
accept
channel
it.
during a
I'll
commercial.
accept it. As someone who has not seen a lot of movies, that's my go-to line. I've seen it in pieces.
That's the go-to Joey line right
Every
there?
time. If I ever say that to you, if I say that to you, I probably haven't seen it.
Okay, all right.
I mean, there's a movie version of Mice and Men also, Joe, if you're too
I'm
lazy
not
to read a
not
damn
interested in
book.
that. I'm not interested in that.
Gary Sinise.
Sinise and John
I am
Malkovich.
going to write the paper this summer.
Okay.
Okay?
You better.
How many words?
I'm going to say at least 2,500.
No chance. Nothing over 1,000 minimum.
750?
on, man.
Max minimum has to be no bigger
If you
than 1,000.
hand me a sheet of paper on it that has 500 words on it, I'm going to slap you.
Being concise is a good skill to have in your writing.
Yeah, well, there's concise, and then there's just not writing a whole paper.
Yeah.
Well,
Fine balance.
We'll talk about how many body paragraphs we're gonna have.
All right.
Oh, my gosh. That does not sound like a college-level paper.
Man.
I'm going to have an introduction paragraph, and
That's
then
right.
I'm going to have 3 body paragraphs, and then I'm going to have a conclusion paragraph.
That's how I read my articles.
That's third grader bullshit, Joe.
Keep doubting it. Keep doubting this Longhorn education. They
Oh,
taught us-
I do.
You shouldn't.
Good God.
Hook 'em horns, baby.
I'm
Hook 'em
just
horns.
kidding. I'm just kidding. Young Joseph is a very bright man,
This is true.
but he still owes me a paper. I'm going to
That is
give him
true as
shit
well.
until he gives it to me.
And I hope it never stops.
All right, guys. So, trading Caruso. I feel like this is a murkier subject now.
Okay.
He's got this partial guarantee, $3 million. It becomes fully guaranteed by June 30th.
Okay.
I fully assume that the Bulls will. I mean, and correct me if you feel differently, Will. They're gonna keep him through that.
I mean, they'll either trade him before or keep him through.
Right.
I mean, I don't like to deal in absolutes for the most part, but there's a 0% chance they're not.
And
Picking
also, even though he will become eligible for an extension and a significant one on the 6th of July, based on the books, and we just did a full, Bulls cap situation episode on Tuesday, they don't have the money to sign him to that extension.
Yeah.
No, but they could like renegotiate and extend, or I mean, the extension wouldn't kick in until the following year,
Renegotiate.
so they could do that in theory. But it's like, what's the bigger picture with that? Like, are you now signing DeMar to a 2-year deal to like really go for it again? But what does that mean? I mean, we've done this whole show already. We don't need to go through it again. But to me, like, the window to trade Caruso ends at, like, they're in the heart of it right now.
Yeah.
It ends at next trade deadline. It started probably last summer. I think they should have done it at the last trade deadline. There's no reason to have him around just to make the play-in. Obviously, there needs to be change, and I think if you are like me and you believe that this team just needs to reset and get upside on it, there is no better asset that you can trade right now than Caruso. Chris Davis asked, what's AC worth on the trade market?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's really the question. But to me, like, I would just sell to the highest bidder.
Yeah.
And I
Sports
think
Chicago style saying ante up, winning teams want AC. Fish saying phone should be ringing off the hooks. Yes.
And like the problem with doing this now versus at the trade deadline or last summer is that he's going to have a little bit more say in where he goes because he's going to be a free agent next year, and you're not going to give up 2 first-round picks in order to sign a guy who's going to walk next summer. So,
Right. And
they're
how
gonna
many
have
of
to
the
play
teams
ball.
that got bounced from the first round, how many teams that are playing the conference semis right now would have loved to have Caruso for
lot.
these playoff runs?
A ton.
I mean, I really genuinely believe he could be a piece that swings a championship.
Yeah. We saw it
with
happen.
how good he is. He's obviously won a championship before. I think the upside of not trading him at the trade deadline and trading him now instead is you can possibly get into this draft. We've talked a lot about the Stepien rule, but teams who have traded their 2025 pick on draft night, they can trade their 2024 pick, but they couldn't have done it at the last trade deadline. So, on draft night, teams like the Suns, the Lakers, who have outgoing picks in the future, they can still trade their pick this year, and that would allow the Bulls to get maybe a current asset in the draft, and then also maybe a young player or a future pick, which could be really, really helpful as they start to rebuild and just reconfigure this roster. So I think now is the time to do it. I wouldn't let it get any later. I would have done it sooner, but like this, you still have a real opportunity to do this now before he either expires or gets hurt and you can't trade him, or you re-sign him for $18, $19, $20 million a year. And now he's so expensive that teams aren't willing to give up as much stuff. So like this really is the window. And again, we've just been singing Caruso's praises for the past 45 minutes here. This is not about him or how good he is or how much we like him. It's because he's so good, he can get you this much value.
Correct.
And I think whatever he can get you on the trade market is going to be more valuable than what he gives you the rest of this year, assuming he can stay fully healthy, because I think that's probably the end of the line for the Caruso experience. I just don't see him wanting to. I mean, this guy is a winning player.
Yeah.
I just don't see him signing back up with the Bulls, even if it's for $20 million a year. I think he can get close enough to that on the open market to where he prioritizes winning championships, and that's just something the Bulls cannot offer him.
They cannot. I can see why. I can understand why they've signed DeMar. Okay, I can look and say, okay, well, he's your best player. You want to keep him. You want to hold him to him. We already had a discussion about Vooch and signing Vooch. Okay, you didn't want to let him walk for nothing. You had nothing there. You signed Vooch. Okay, why keep Caruso? Because I don't see the reason why, other than we really like him. We like him. We know what he can bring as far as defensively and those things like that. But I feel like those things can be replaced and changed. That's when you kind of lean on your younger guys like Ayo and think that he's ready to jump into that kind of role.
Yep.
So I'm like, why do you still hold on to that, risking that you get absolutely nothing for the only asset that you can actually get something for.
I don't know that I can answer that question now, but if you were asking me at the trade deadline, the answer would have been because we still want to compete, and he gives us the best chance to do that.
Right.
No player on the team had a greater impact on plus minus. No player helped the team perform better when he was on the court than Caruso compared to when he sat. And number two is he is the defensive culture setter. Mm-hmm. He is the defensive counterpoint to DeMar. Mm-hmm. He represents everything that AK wants to build around. AK has been vocal about wanting to build a program and a culture, and Caruso embodies that more than anybody else. He sets the style of play. He's been teaching younger players how to be better defensively. But again, at a certain point, you got to take off the training wheels. You can't just like pay DeMar and Caruso $40 and $60 or whatever combined $1 million to be babysitters as they age.
And Rob Antol in the comments kind of with that same line of thought, Will, saying AC's a future coach, his IQ is that high. I believe if AK wants to keep a veteran to help the young core rebuild, AC may be the key piece. Sports Chicago style, meanwhile, asking if AC departs, does DeMar even want to resign? See, that's the thing. Like, if I'm AK and my pitch to Alex is, okay, we're going to trade some of these other pieces. We're going to focus on the young guys. I want you to stick around through this fourth and final year of your contract and be a defensive coach on the floor for us, be a veteran leader for the younger guys. Mm-hmm. And I'm asking you to do that. If I'm Caruso, I'm saying, you want me to stick around for a year of your rebuild to do that, give me all of the dollars.
That's right.
Otherwise, bye.
Exactly. I completely
Why
agree.
would Caruso stick around on this grossly underpaid $9 million and change year of his final deal to be a babysitter on a team that's not winning games?
Exactly.
Because if I'm Caruso, I'm saying, that's a laugh. Peace out.
Mm-hmm.
And like, he's worth, like, how much do you think Caruso gets paid on the open market? Like, what would you guys predict? And I'll do a little calculation while you're talking.
I mean,
$8 trillion.
You mean like average annual salary?
Like if you were free agent this year and a team
10?
was going to sign him with cap space, what would you expect him to make?
Not just over 10. I could see a team throwing him
18,
16, 18 maybe.
18, yeah. That's
I mean, like,
the
Dylan
extension.
Brooks got 4 for 86.
Yeah.
So that
if
kind of
Dylan Brooks gets 4 for 86, Caruso deserves 4 for 86.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah. I can't really argue that. That's true.
He got 4 for 86 when his stock was in the toilet.
Well, but 40 of that 86 million is just for the pregame warm-up stare downs he does.
Oh,
you're so valuable.
He had a great year.
Gotta have it.
He really gets those mind games going.
It's true. He did have a good year.
He had a great year.
Yeah, great coach too.
So I'm playing with our buddy Steph Knows like salary projection tool based on the games played, which I set for 70, the minutes per game, which I set for 28, and his EPM from this year, which was plus 2.4. He has a projected annual salary worth $26.9 million. So that's the kind of production that he's giving you. Would I pay him that? Absolutely not, because that takes away a lot of the value.
Sure.
If I'm a GM with unlimited cap space, like I'm not signing him as my big, free agent target. But
no. But you're not getting him on the free agent market with your team's mid-level.
Yeah, but
so
let's look at like Dante DiVincenzo, for example. I think that's an interesting comparison. He just signed a 4-year, $46.8 million contract. That's a mid-level exception. I think he's going to make more than that.
Yeah.
And we're also talking about a guy who's now going to be signing a contract for his age 31, 32, 33, and 34 age seasons. So he's getting older. He obviously plays a brand of basketball that is conducive to injuries, that is reliant on athleticism just because of the way that he throws his body around. Like, I don't expect him to have, and this is not like a disrespectful thing, it's just the way that he plays, it's going to be hard to have longevity in this league. I would not want to be the team that pays him $20 million a year going into his mid-30s.
Which, again, is why we were all sitting here screaming, for the love of God, sell high on this guy. This team is going nowhere. Saddle. She's beyond the Thunderdome. Benjamin in the comments saying, trade Alex, trade this man, collect picks. Picks, Jerry, picks. I mean, like, it should read picks, AK picks. Jerry Reinsdorf doesn't even know what the hell a draft pick is anymore. But that is, to me, the biggest question, because people hearing rumors and reports leading up to the trade deadline and all the trade deadline rumors that get flying around, we heard about multiple teams calling the Bulls about Alex, and even a few specific teams and what they might be willing to offer. I think the Warriors were one of those teams. People were throwing around like a first-round draft pick and Moses Moody or something like that. A good young player with upside and a first-round pick. Some people were even, rose-colored glasses thinking, could you get two? Could you get 2 first-round picks, even if they were late first-round picks?
Yeah.
I don't know if I ever fully believed that was doable, but that was.
I mean, Woj said that on his podcast.
He did. Woj did say that, and it sent Bulls fans, all abuzz. Now, my biggest question/concern is how much value has he lost in the 3 months since you insisted on keeping him at the trade deadline? Because you get 1 fewer playoff run with Caruso running around the floor for you. You get 1 fewer year of very friendly team contract money, very cap-friendly money, and you have 1 fewer year of, hey, Caruso just played 2 really healthy seasons back-to-back.
Yeah.
I feel like this trade deadline value took a hit. And I don't know, maybe the bidding war is still there this summer, and multiple teams throwing the Bulls offers could keep it at not being that drastic of a drop in what his trade value would have been at the deadline mid-season. But I don't know if you're getting a good young player and a pick for him anymore.
That's a good question. I don't know how much of a hit it took, but it definitely took one, I think. Because last year, your first team on defense, he'll be second team, obviously, this year. But
He could be first.
He could, but I think they're going to put him second. I really do think that. But he also walked away with an actual individual award. Hustle award. Whether you believe in this or not.
What I mean? Since when is that a thing?
Since 2016.
Cool.
Patrick Beverley, the first one to win.
Oh, gross.
But yeah, he walked away with an individual award. So that I'm sure they'll look at that as something. But he's still who he is as far as Alex Caruso. But the reason his take a hit is not because of, I don't think it's anything he did, it's what the team he's on is doing. You know what I mean? Like, they're like, well, we understand where you guys are at as far as your desperation and your aspiration to change. Like, you've already said it. So you put yourself in this box already. So why do we have to go ahead and give you these 2 first-round picks when we know that you might be wanting to offload some more guys? So they are the reason, in my opinion, that his stuff is taking a hit more so than anything I've seen him do on the floor.
I think it's all of that, but I also think just the years left on his contract is a big deal. I think if you're trading for a guy with 2 playoff runs on his contract, you're willing to give up more than for a guy who's got 1 playoff run left on his contract. You're trading for him with 1 season left before you understanding that you have to pay him. So
right. And then if you're just going to have to renegotiate with him if you want to keep him, you're talking about doing that negotiating next season, a season in which Caruso turns 30.
Yeah. Or you you just negotiate a new contract as an extension after you trade for him. So I think it's a possibility. Like I said, some of these teams that weren't able to trade their first round picks during the season will be able to trade on draft night. Philadelphia projected 16th, or they will have the 16th pick. The Lakers, I don't know if the Pelicans have. Basically, the Pelicans are allowed to either have the Lakers pick this year or next year. I believe they're probably going to push it back to next year, so that could be the 17th pick and an asset. The Cavaliers are 20th. The Suns are 22. The Knicks are 25 and 24. There's going to be teams that would love to have a contributor like Caruso, can trade a draft pick and throw the Bulls another salary for a decent young player. Like, you get a pick on draft night and a good young player. I mean, I would be thrilled with that kind of return for as good as he is, and he really is like a star defensive player. He's still a role player. And to be able to kind of turn your franchise around and reset using that kind of asset, I think is just truly a rare thing. You look at like a Derek White type of trade or Josh Hart, like that's a first round pick and a young player that really helps set those teams up. Now you have to do more than that. You have to continue.
It would be one step, one puzzle piece.
Exactly.
But it would be a smart one.
Yeah.
But it's a great start, and I think it's the best chance they have now to get future picks. And a reminder, they still owe a pick next year to the Spurs. So it's not only about that, but it's also about now setting yourself up next year to keep this top 10 protected pick that you have outgoing to the Spurs in what projects to be a really loaded top of the draft.
All right. Well, we are almost out of time. So before we are out of time, we got to do a Tankathon spin, Joe, if you don't mind pulling that up. In the meantime, while you're pulling that up, Brazil Popular in the comments saying, I'm optimistic about this offseason. Bless your heart.
Right on.
The last one we had no picks and still got 3 players. Are you referring to Javon, Torrey, and Julian Phillips? Because, okay.
Let them keep going, man.
This one we already have a first. AK is going to get at least one more and probably another undrafted. Wow. Bless your heart. You and Dave should have a chat. And just revel in each other's optimistic outlook for this offseason. Shout out also to
I come with logic with it.
Andrew, who threw us a super chat saying, "Why not trade him if we get value
Julian
back?"
Batem he's talking about Julian Batem. And Sonogo.
Oh, right. All of the great usefulness they did.
Like I said, do not put me in this room. What's wrong with you?
I said it jokingly, but I will still retract it.
I do want to hang out in Brazil with you, though.
That is some crazy rose-colored glasses nonsense right there.
Let's go hang out in Brazil, though. I do want to do that. Let's do that.
No worries, guys. We got Batem and Sonogo. 20-20.
Shout out 2020. You ready, Joe? Because Matt's depressed
Spin that wheel. Oh, my God.
Let's do it.
Here we go. Taking thought spin.
Stay at 11.
Stay at 11.
Stay at 11. Give me one more. Taking thought spin.
Stay at 11.
That
3,
checks out.
4.
Hey, yeah. Well, what?
There's a move.
They moved down one
to
there.
12.
9.4%
And back to 11
to jump up.
Yeah,
and
so
still at 11.
They
11
have
again.
a 2% chance
on.
at the first pick, 2.2% chance at the second pick, 2.4% chance at third, 2.8% chance at fourth, and then most likely 77.6% chance at 11. They could move down to 12 if teams jump them, as we've seen a couple times here in this lottery
Joey
spin.
has how many spins was that before
Over
they finally
20.
jumped
That was
up?
over 20.
Yeah, it was way over 20.
Well, that's a good low bar for us to set.
Yes.
And then we can do another Tankathon spin at the start of our Sunday show.
So we're getting 11.
Yeah, according to Tankathon.com, we are
going down.
Yes.
There's a better chance of them getting 12 than getting in the top 4. It's very unlikely that they get into the top 4.
Yay.
But a possibility.
I guess a possibility.
All right.
All right, that is it. We are out of time for today. We did want to touch on MVP because it just got announced last night, but we ran out of time. Real quick, anybody have any issues with Joker getting his third?
I don't.
Nope.
Nothing for me.
No.
Best player in the league.
Shaq did.
Yeah, he had SGA.
But Shaq is not alone in people who thought SGA had an MVP caliber season.
Several first-round votes.
And rightly so. Joker won it handily in total points as far as votes, first place, second place, third place, etc. SGA had an MVP caliber season. He really did. And shout out to Luka and our guy Sabine. Luka got that third place finish that I think was very deserved.
Very deserving. Very deserving.
All right, everybody. Enjoy NBA playoff action continuing on tonight. Make your prize picks.
Yeah.
Maybe throw some bets down on Circa as well. And we will talk to you Sunday. So this is our last episode of the work week.
Sunday.
We are off Friday. We are off Saturday. Sunday, live, 2 p.m. here in studio. Dave and I will be here to take y'all through the NBA Draft Lottery. The results will be at the Draft Lottery, and he will join us remote to talk about it after we learn where the Bulls will be picking in the first round of the 2024 NBA Draft. In the meantime, follow Will_Gottlieb, Big Dave Bow, BAWL Sports. I'm Bulls_Pack. Our panel producer on the controls is Joey Spathis at Joey Spathis. His friends are trolls and leprechauns. We are CHGO_Bulls. Appreciate you for tuning in. Hit that like on your way out. Hit the subscribe button if you aren't already. We'll talk to you Sunday. You better be good.
Brazil popular. Love you.
Yay!
Peace.